Hi guys, welcome back to another fragrance video on my channel and thanks so much for tuning in again. In today's video I want to talk to you about the question if Creed Aventus in the year 2022 is still worth a buy. Because honestly, I recently bought 2 bottles of Aventus, one older one from 2019 and one recent one from 2022. And the question is, for me, is there really a difference between those two? Would it be reasonable to keep the new one? Or how do the fragrances evolve over time? And I honestly have to say that I think Creed has really changed the DNA and they've really changed the way that Aventus develops and feels. So there is, in my opinion, 2 different ways that you can use this, or maybe 2 different ways that you should go if you're looking for a specific version of Aventus. And I think you shouldn't necessarily buy the old ones or the new ones, because it really depends on what you're looking for. Now, first of all, what they have changed, in my opinion, is that they've made the recent batches. So I believe after they have been bought by BlackRock, which happened, I believe, 2020 or 2021. After that, they really changed the formula. So they changed the formula to something more focused on the citrus notes. So if you spray this recent batch, you will definitely notice that it has way more of a citrus component in the beginning. So it's really fresh in the beginning. And also it takes longer to develop. So I would say that the typical Aventus DNA comes through only after 2 hours or so into the fragrance. So if you're looking for this fruity and smoky, fruity birchwood kind of thing, then you will really have to wait a couple of hours for it to develop into this. And in the beginning, it's really mainly focused on citrus notes, which is really kind of weird because if you know Aventus, you know that it's like super complex from the beginning. So at least the old batches were super complex from the beginning. And if you are greeted with this fresh citrus note, that's kind of weird, because then you could also buy Aventus Cologne, which is more a citrus fragrance and more of a fresh fragrance. However, I personally think that if you are starting out with niche, or you are trying to get into niche fragrances, I believe the new batches are kind of easier to get into because it's not as complex as the old ones. I remember when I started out with Aventus, I was really blown away by the complexity of the fragrance and by the kind of simplicity on one hand, so that it's just a fresh fragrance in the end, but that it's also like super complex and kind of a new take on fresh fragrances. So that was like my initial reaction. And I think it's easier to access if you have the new ones, because it's mostly a citrus fragrance and then it has this scent development into the old Aventus DNA. However, I believe if you are looking for this typical Aventus DNA, and if you are a hardcore niche head like me, as I said, I have a 50 ml of a 2019 version at home. I think you should definitely not go for the new ones. You should go for the 2019 version or before that. I think 2017 and 2016 and even before, they are the best batches that have been produced. 2018 was kind of like a downer. Then 2020 there was a slight comeback, but then they were bought by BlackRock and then they changed the whole thing up. So it is about at that time where you should look for fragrances, and I think that 2019 is an awesome batch. I wore it a couple of days ago and it lasted like for ages on my skin and was really nice in its fruitiness, but also kind of balanced with the smoky notes. So really nice batch right there. So to make things short, to answer the question if Creed Aventus is still worth the money in 2022, it really depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for this easy access, if you're looking for a fresher DNA, more focused on the citrus notes, then I think the new ones are really nice. However, if you're looking for this typical niche quality that Creed once had and no longer has in that extent, I think you should go for versions of 2019 or before. And that's my opinion and my take on if Creed Aventus is still worth the money in 2022. I think the prices are steep, to be honest, so I think it's really become really expensive for what it does. But in the end, it is really a fragrance that has changed the world, to be honest. And I think in that regard, it really still deserves some of the credit. That's about it for this video, guys. I'm super excited to read about your opinion of the newest batches, or in general about Creed Aventus. Please let me know in the comment section down below. If you like this video, leave me a thumbs up. And if you are new to this channel, please subscribe. I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for your attention and bye-bye.